You all please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can I get a roll call?
Mr. Cook?
Here.
Mr. D'Andriano?
Here.
Mr. Rogan?
Here.
Mr. Williams?
Here. Somebody like to make a motion on the reports?
Like a motion to accept and approve the code and compliance for December, code enforcement for December, ECI for December and January, and the Patterson Recreation for November and December. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Somebody like to make a motion on the minutes?
I'll make a motion that we approve the organizational meeting minutes of December 29th, 2021, the Patterson Fire Department contract minutes of December 22nd, 2021, the Putt Lake Fire Department contract, December 22nd, 2021, the special budget meeting, September 27th, 2021, and the town board meeting minutes of December 8th and December 22nd, 2021. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion on the abstract?
Yes. I'll make a motion to town board approve abstract number 24 dated December 28th, 2021 in the amount of $111,720.13. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
If there are no budget transfers, we will jump right into it. First on my agenda is an engineering RFP. The board has been talking about for quite some time, hiring an engineer, using some of the federal funds that we've received to look at the Dorset Hollow water system. It's a system that was put in back in the early 2000s. Some of the components are reaching the end of their useful life. They're going to need to be upgraded. And we are also looking to extend the system down along Front Street to encourage some additional development, hopefully along Front Street. I put together an RFP, and I'd like to make a motion that we authorize the town clerk to advertise the request for proposals for engineering services for Dorset Hollow Water District. All in favor?
Aye.
Next is an executive session. We've got personnel. It's not actually legal, it's personnel. And we have a legal issue with the Astro subdivision that I'd like to talk to the board about and the town attorney in executive session. I'll defer that to the end of the meeting. Mary is not here. We have some recreation requests.
I'll do those.
You're going to do those?
Sure.
All right, go ahead.
We have a request for fleece crew neck sweatshirts for the recreation department. And we got two quotes, low quote being Extreme Designs, for the amount of $552. So I'll make a motion that the town board approve the awarding of the bid to Extreme Designs in an amount not to exceed $552. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Next, we have a request for basketball T-shirts with print on front, number on back. And we had two quotes. This one, again, Extreme Designs came as the low bidder. I'll make a motion that the town board approve the awarding of the bid to Extreme Designs in an amount not to exceed $925. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Take Rhine Cliff Road if you would, because I'm fairly familiar with Rhine Cliff Road.
Go ahead.
This is a situation where an individual on Rhine Cliff Road wanted to put up a fence around their property. They talked to the building department about it. Our code compliance officer gave them some incorrect advice. He has since been educated on what the requirements are, but they put up the fence according to what the code compliance officer directed them to do. Turns out it was in violation of our code. And we've been going back and forth on this. We've seen a number of emails with the adjacent property owner who's fairly upset about the fence because it obscures her side of distance down the road. Her driveway is actually 2 to 3 feet lower than the bottom of the fence anyway. So even if we drop the fence down to 4 feet, it's really not going to help her. And I've made her aware of that fact. But nonetheless, we do have an issue with the fence. The property owner is trying to come into compliance. They made application to the ZBA. They paid the fees to the ZBA, but of course, our code says that if the fence is already, been established, then the fees are doubled. In this case, we're not looking to waive the fees, which we've been so advised by our attorney we can't really do. We're just waiving the doubling of the fees. So as to make it, a straight variance application fee. In light of the fact that, the property owner was ill-advised by our building department, I think, in my opinion, the doubling of the fees, reducing the doubling of the fees, eliminating the doubling of the fees is appropriate. Anybody have any questions or discussion?
Sounds reasonable.
Yeah,
So not doubling it, just leaving it single.
Yes.
Is that in compliance with our?
I think in this situation that you have a good argument for doing this the way you're doing it, especially since I'm imagining that the property owner might have paid permitting fees when they put the fence in.
Are no permitting fees.
Okay, they didn't have to get a permit for it, which is why the confusion came up. But I think in this situation, given that they were given advice by the building department, I think there's a good argument that one fee is reasonable.
Okay, so then I'd like to make a motion that in the matter of 17 Rhine Cliff Road, that the town board approve reducing the fees so that the fees are not doubled for the ZBA application being made. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Peter, you're up.
All right, first I have a new hire, assistant dog warden or part-time dog warden. So we made an announcement a few months ago that we were looking, that our part-time dog warden had resigned and we we're looking for a replacement. So we interviewed a great candidate who has a lot of experience with dogs. And so her name is Melissa Semenanko. Okay, so I'd like to make a motion. We have a resolution here. I'd like to make a motion to accept this resolution and enter into the record as read to hire Melissa Semenanko as part-time dog warden effective January 23rd at the annual rate of $8,885, pending all background checks and compliance with all requirements of the town of Patterson employee handbook. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Just to update the board, she has passed all the background checks. I did put together a schedule. It's going to be basically, we now have 2 part-time dog control officers. They'll be alternating 1 week on, 1 week off, so that nobody has all the night shifts, nobody has all the weekends. They both agreed to that. And next week, they are trying to work out where Alan is actually going to take her around, introduce her to the Putnam Humane Society and Brook Farms, and get her squared away with paperwork.
Great.
Just also for the residents' edification. So what's the process to notify the dog wardens? If someone finds a loose dog in their yard or their neighborhood, what's the process?
So some of the details we're still working out with Melissa. Typically, you're going to do it one of 3 ways. You're going to call the sheriff or state troopers, and they're going to get a hold of our dog control officer. You're going to call here at town hall, and we're going to pass the message along. He does have his own line. Or you're going to call on the town hall and you're going to dial extension 32, which is our emergency line, in which case that calls out to me, and then I find the dog control officer.
So that would be, during hours, the receptionist would contact him or whatever.
Yeah.
Then off hours, you'd get an emergency notification or, okay.
Or the sheriffs, yes. Yes.
Next I have the Patterson Fire Department request. Do we have this? So if Mr. Nickershire can come up and speak on the behalf of the fire department.
Good evening. I'm Joe Nickershire. I'm the ex-chief Patterson Fire Department and current chair of the apparatus committee. We're currently, as you know, in the process of building a new engine tanker, and we're coming into the home stretch. But with that said, we are requesting the expenditure of up to $60,000 from our apparatus fund to cover a few additional expenses, including equipment that's going to be going on to the new rig, and travel expenses to go out for the inspections of the rig, and for our apparatus consultant fee and the apparatus consultant travel as well for that inspection.
Joe, did you by chance bring a breakdown of what you're requesting?
I do. I have 5 copies of the equipment list. I have a copy of our estimated expenses on the travel. So I just want to note that I'm estimating on all this, so it's up to 60,000. We do believe it's going to come in under that number. We just would hate to come back in here for an extra $50 or $100 here and there as the fees arise. I go over the list of equipment with you if you really want to know. I can also go over the estimated travel expenses that I have broken down.
Well, I think right now,
Charlie,
is your
Charlie.
request the
It's only one of
60,000?
those.
The 60,000 is in total, and that's between the equipment and for the travel and the apparatus consultant.
I know it's very important to travel to the watch what's being built and make sure all the specs are being followed. And I know how important that is. I'd like to make a motion to approve this up to $60,000 for the Patterson Fire Department for their traveling to where is it?
It's in South Dakota,
South
Sioux
Dakota.
Falls, South Dakota.
And how many people is it?
First trip is 2 plus the consultant, and second trip is 3 plus the consultant.
So moved.
Second, I just was giving me a chance to read through the equipment list.
Joey, where is the factory?
South Dakota, Sioux Falls.
Where are you getting the Husqvarna from, Joe?
Local, most of the equipment that's on that list will be gotten relatively local. We have various contractors and
I see it.
suppliers that we use.
It's a good price for it, $550.
All the pricing on there though is what the estimated price is, because there is a lot of equipment that is currently unavailable. And we have to look at, can we get this in 2 months, or is it gonna be a year? And we need to find the substitute.
All right, so back up. Did I misunderstand you? Did you say you were looking for 50,000 or 60?
60
Up
in
to
total.
60.
My motion was up to 60,000.
Up to, right.
And you seconded. Discussion?
I just wanted to, the single page that you have.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's all right.
Only one.
It's okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Rich, you can tell Mary to vote if she's on the Zoom, if she wants to.
Oh, now that's cheating.
Sorry, she's there.
Mary, what do you think? There's plenty of these if you want to keep it. All right. Charles, you're up.
I'm up.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you. Anything else, Pete?
That's, well, I have a couple of questions for executive session.
Okay. Next, we have 2022 assessment exemptions. Resolution granting the town assessor the authority to grant exemptions on the 2022 town assessment roll. And whereas the COVID pandemic has made it difficult, if not impossible, for many senior citizens and individuals with disabilities residing in the town of Patterson to file their real property tax exemption applications in person, and many further lack the ability to file such applications by other means such as online. In recognition of the above problems caused by the pandemic, Governor, how do you say her name? Hochul issued an executive order, the effect which permits the town board of the town of Patterson and the governing body of an assessing unit to adopt a resolution directing the assessor to grant exemptions on the 2022 assessment roll. So, and it goes on to all the different things that the assessor needs to do or not do. So I will make a motion that the town board approve the resolution granting the town assessor the authority to grant exemptions on the 2022 town assessment roll and enter the resolution into the record as read. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Next, we have from the Putnam Lake Fire Department, and they have accepted as a member of the department, Angelo Coscidano. Forgive me, Angelo, as a member. So I'll make a motion that the town board approve Mr. Angelo as a member of the Putnam Lake Fire Department, subject to meeting all qualifications to be an active volunteer with said department, including without limitation, having passed all physical and fitness tests required. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good.
I'm good.
Next, we have a conference request from our assessor's office. So this is for Miss Amanda Tompkins to attend the basic #1 course for appraisal of real property for legal considerations, economic principles, markets, and analysis. And this is tail end of January and early February. This is not, no travel required. This is just an online course. And so the registration fee is $470 for this course. So I'll make a motion. We approve the conference request for Amanda Tompkins as submitted. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next item we have is something that the town supervisor made the town board aware of, I think, at the end of last week, and that was a significant problem with the Dorset Hollow public water supply, wherein the storage tank had a significant leak, which was just progressively getting worse day by day. Town supervisor had requested some quotes for an immediate repair so that we wouldn't lose or minimize the amount of downtime to our users in that water supply. And we have a couple of quotes, and the low bidder, Adams Plumbing and Heating. This is for essentially replacing the water storage system and pressure tanks for the Dorset Hollow water supply. The quote is for bypassing the old tank and furnishing and installing 5 120-gallon water storage tanks, the pumping, the piping for that, and all of the hookups and connections to tie into the water lines. So the amount of the quote is $23,460, significantly lower than some of the other quotes. So make a motion that we approve this quote for the work to be done to Dorset Hollow water supply from Adams Plumbing and Heating for an amount not to exceed $23,460. So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Just again, so the board is aware of, everything. This is a semi-permanent improvement that we're making to the system. Once we get this all in and the pressure tank, the pneumatic tank offline, then we're going to drain it out and see if it's possible to repair it through welding. We'll try to put it back online if we can. If not, then we'll see where we go from there.
The tank looked like it was in pretty rough shape from the video that you sent us.
It actually isn't. It's actually in fairly good shape. It just needs a little bit of cleaning up. The problem was the plug on the bottom. And we're not even sure whether it's, we could, just tack weld it a little bit and fix it, or we need to cut the whole section out.
Mhm.
But
Interesting.
we shall see. Okay, other business. Any board member have any other business you wish to bring up at this time?
Charlie, you look like you have do you want to do the
Court.
justice court?
Sure. I have a memo from the judges recommending the hiring of a court officer, Lawrence Lorenziano. And his resume fits the judge's needs. So, and his scheduling It's the court scheduling. So I'll make a motion that the board approve as a court officer at the salary in the 2022 budget, Mr. Lawrence Lorenziano. So moved.
Second.
Discussion, can we make it subject to passing all background checks?
Subject to, like I said, subject to passing all background checks.
I knew I heard him say that.
He whispered it.
All in favor?
I just have a question
Yes.
too. So it just says, can you add it to the agenda? Are they requesting to hire him?
Yeah. They're requesting we hire him.
Because the memo from the judge just says that, can you just please add it to the agenda?
Yeah, no, they're asking that he be hired to replace Brian Long.
Because I had some questions on his resume, but if they're happy with him and they request to hire him, then I'll follow.
Do you prefer we withdraw this and interview?
No, if they want him, if they've already interviewed him or vetted him, that's fine.
Okay.
I just didn't see that clear on the memo.
They send more information to email.
They may have, I don't recall.
I'm just going what's in my agenda,
Yeah.
All right.
but I'm fine. If they're fine with them and they're requesting it, I'm fine with it.
Okay, so motion passes. All right, any other business at this time? All right, that being the case, we'll open it up to public recognition. Does anybody here in the audience wish to address the board on any issue? Well, hearing none, then we'll open it up to our Zoom audience. Is anybody joining us tonight by Zoom have any questions or comments on tonight's agenda or any other issue?
People there.
Okay, hearing none. Can I make a motion to go into executive session?
Motion to go in executive session.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.